Welcome to Business with Papa. I'm David Bland. As I do in every start, please pay attention to who's speaking to you. In this case, it's me. I describe who I am and where I've been and what I've done in episode 1, but I want you to use critical thinking in everything you do. Question what you're being told. Ask yourself if it makes sense to you. Confirm as much as you can, because that is the path to success in business and success in life. So today's session is going to try to help you balance. So what do I mean by that? Let me start by telling you, I'm not sure I did a very good job at it. So I'm telling you some things that I hope will help you do at least as good or maybe better. When I was a young man, I don't remember exactly when, you know how these things can get lost in time, but somewhere around about 13 or 14 or so, my dad shared something with me. He owned a business. I worked in it with him too. We would come driving home sometimes. We were 20 minutes away from his business at 11 o'clock at night. And so there'd be a lot of time in the car. And I guess I was fortunate. I had a dad who had some good ideas and was pretty smart and wanted to teach me. And this is what he taught me. And as you can see, I've never lost it. It was meaningful to me, and I hope it will be meaningful to you as well. What he told me was that men get to pick, and it would be true for women too, believe me. You have choices to make in your life. Now, let me start by saying this is not going to be about faith. If you are a person who doesn't have religious convictions, that's fine. That's your choice and your life, and you can live it the way you want. If you're an individual who has very strong religious convictions, whatever religion it may be, that's also fine. And you should live the way that you believe is appropriate. I'm not talking about that. That's a separate issue. What I'm talking about are the areas in which you can focus your energies. And that's what he was talking about. He said there's 3 things that you can choose from. You can choose to have a complete focus on your work, career, however you characterize it. You can choose to have a complete focus on your family, whether that's your parents, your siblings, or whether it's your wife and your children, or some semblance of any of those in which you gather a group of people together in which you feel close and you feel responsible and you have love for. And then finally, the last category, if you will, of things you can choose are your hobbies. Golf, painting, bike riding, running, reading. Again, it's an endless list of possibilities. Okay. He said, those are the 3 things that you're going to have to face. And you're going to have to pick how you feel about them and how much of your life's energy you're going to put into them. Didn't sound like rocket science, right? From a nuclear engineer, no less. Seems pretty straightforward, okay? But here's the rub, and I believe he's right. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can do all 3. You can't. There is not enough hours in the day to do them all 3 well. Sure, can you do them all? Can you be a distance bike rider with 2 kids and a job? Of course you can. Okay? People do it all the time. Do you know any of them? I mean, not the people you encounter every day. I mean the people who stand out as stellar performers, which if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be. I can tell you I don't. Those are good, solid people. but they're never going to excel at all three. Or frankly, they're never going to excel in any one of them because they're spread too thin. What he said to me was, pick two. Now, if you want to pick one and just be absolutely focused on it, who knows? We just finished the Olympics. Maybe you'll be in the next Olympics if you happen to choose a sport as one of your hobbies and that's your focus. Or maybe that's your work and your career. You can pick two, and you can be really good at both of them. So what I want to encourage you to do, frankly, is not get lost in your career and work alone. That's extremely overloading after years and years of it, and you become less effective. Make time for yourself. That's not career-oriented, not your business-oriented. Make time, whether it's to spend time with your family, whatever that means to you, or it's spend time on your hobbies that you love. Again, whatever that is that you enjoy. But your mind has to separate from the business from time to time. It can't separate for all three. There's not sufficient time to have a successful business if you do that. But it needs to separate for at least one. So I want to encourage you to do that. I want you to think about those three things. If you haven't already registered with yourself, which of those are important to you? And if it's all three, you might not want to be an entrepreneur. But if you can pick two, and one of those is being an entrepreneur, then you can have the energy, the focus, and the drive, as well as the time to dedicate to being a successful entrepreneur and a happy person. I hope this information helps. Until next time, this is Papa giving you some insights.